Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me for Divination Insights. Today, I want to talk to you about one of the questions that I usually get from my students and my clients when they start looking into tarot or certain types of divination, mainly cards. Today, we are talking about how we are picking our deck. And maybe in the past, when there were not so many decks available in the market, it was an easy task. But today, we have a lot of options, a lot of variables, and picking a deck could be something daunting for a beginner. So today I want to talk to you about some strategies and some things that you have to take into account when you are picking your first deck or maybe another deck if you have one already. But when we look at decks, not every deck is the same. We have tarot decks and we have Lenormand decks, and we have Oracle decks. So you may wonder, what is the difference between these three categories? And the way I would say is, like, when we look at tarot is very universal. And every tarot deck is divided into major arcana and minor arcana. And then you have the core cards as well. There could be some variations, but mainly most of them have these 78 cards and they are divided into those suits. So no matter what deck you pick, you will always have a star or the sun or the fool. And depending on the author, the suits may vary, but it's usually a variation of wands, swords, cups, and pentacles. So you have that type of structure. So once you learn the structure, there is not much variation in the meaning of the cards. So you can pick any kind of tarot deck and be able to read it once you know the meaning for each card. When we talk about an oracle deck, this is different because it doesn't follow any kind of instruction. It just has the structure that the author decided to create. So if the author is thinking, I want to create 40 cards and I want to make it about angels, like there are several oracle decks related to angels out there in the market. So they pick the angels they want to work in and they create the cards. But most of the times when you pick that oracle deck, you have to use the book that comes with the cards, because unless you use it every day and you know the cards by heart, it's really hard for you to really read it as you would if you learn the tarot and every tarot deck is the same. If you remember, as I mentioned before, there was a third category. And in this category, I feel like this deck, it's sort of like a hybrid between tarot and an oracle deck. And here is where I'm talking about the Lenormand deck, because the Lenormand is an oracle deck. But every Lenormand follows the same structure. It has 36 cards, and it goes from the rider till the cross. So every Lenormand deck has that. Sometimes there is some variation. Again, the authors have the liberty and the creativity to add a card, to remove. Usually, I haven't seen anyone removing by just adding additional cards. Like, for example, one of the decks from, I think it's Kate Matthews, she did the diviner within that. Or I have another one from Carrie Paris, and she has done alternative cards for the woman, for the man, and for the child. So you may have those variations, but still it sticks pretty much to the 36 cards that you can create the great tabloid with. So in that sense, you can pick tarot, but tarot has 78 cards. So you have to be prepared to put the time and the dedication that it takes to learn all these cards and work, maybe piece it together, first take the major arcana, then take the minor arcana, then take the core cards and put it all together. And as you are learning and practicing and working with your cards, you definitely get the meaning of them. If you want an easy deck that is like a 1 card a day, like you are looking for some guidance or adding something to your meditation, then pick an oracle deck. Those are usually from 30 to 60 cards, and they come in many varieties of topics. So if you have any favorite topic, let's say, like I was mentioning before, angels, then go and pick, an oracle deck that's connected to angels. If you want to learn Lenormand, which is still a very, I wouldn't say complicated, but it takes time to learn. But it is smaller than the tarot because it has 36 cards. And so you can learn the 36 and then pick different Lenormand decks. Like there's many out there. So, for example, I have one of my favorite Lenormand decks is a gilded Lenormand, because I like the pictures, I like the colors, I like the way the oracle talks to me. And this is something very important when you are picking your deck. Try to go to a place where you can open the deck and look at each card, because many times when we buy online, we see 1 or 2 or maybe 3 cards, and you get the deck, you open it up, and then you see, oh my God, this is not the deck I wanted. Those are the 3 cards that I like from the whole deck, and then I can put it away, or the deck doesn't talk to you, it doesn't resonate with you. So you have to pay attention to how the deck works for you. The one that I usually recommend if you are interested in tarot is to get the Rider-Waite, and I like the Radiant. So I use the Radiant most of the times in all my readings, because I feel like that deck is very universal. The pictures are very traditional, and usually it may not be offensive to any person that comes for a reading, because there are certain decks that may have some pictures or things that a person may react to. Let's say the zombies tarot deck. Well, if the person that comes for a reading doesn't like the zombies and I have a zombie deck, they may feel uncomfortable with it. So I try to do my readings with any deck that is very like traditional and universal, and that it wouldn't offend anyone that comes for a reading. Also in tarot, and I will be showing you some of these cards. So you see, I'm having the Golden Dawn Magical Tarot deck. And this deck is very nice if you are learning, Golden Dawn, mysticism, hermetics, all those big, let's say, ceremonial magic traditions. That would be a great deck for you, because you will learn all the symbolism with the colors, with the symbols, with the things that are contained in the card. But if you are not learning that type of structure, it may be a hard deck for you to begin with. And let me show you why. Because, for example, I picked 2 cards, one from the Rider-Waite and one from the Golden Dawn, and you can see them. For example, if you look at the Rider-Waite, you can tell a story with this card. When you look at it, it's like this person is attached to things, needs to control things. He doesn't want to let go. He's not trusting. He's like fearful of the unknown. Whereas if we look at the Golden Gate or the Golden Dawn deck, sorry about that, then there is a different idea there. There's still the hand holding. You could say like it doesn't let go, but there is not much information there. So unless you really resonate with the colors, with the symbols, and you like learning, like we have the symbols of the inverted triangles, depending on the element and all these different things, I would suggest you go with a deck like this. Another example, similar, is, again, 9 of Cups. One tells you a story, the other one, not so much. So if you're looking, again, there's nothing wrong with this type of decks. Like I have several that are that way, but for the beginner, it's nice when the minor arcana also has a picture, also has an idea that is conveying, because the person does not feel like they need to go and check the book. They just feel like, okay, I can look at the card and I can tell the story of this person that's sitting here, or this person that has all these cups, or this person that's going through this situation. So you can tell a story without having to pick up the book. And what we want with tarot or with cards is like the card talks to you. The card tells you a story, that you don't have to resort to the book. Like the book should be your final destination, in the sense of like, first explore what it feels for you with the car. What do the colors tell you? What does the image tell you? Does it make you feel happy, or do you feel like the person in the car is not having a good time, or they are stressed out, or they are feeling anxiety? What is it telling you? Are you focusing on certain areas of the car? Maybe look at the background. Maybe see what's the rest of the story. See the big picture. And definitely when we use cars, we get that feeling, right? We get that story, and it helps us really develop our intuition and connect with our imagination and imagine what the story in the cars is telling us. So definitely, like, be mindful of that. Like, there are many variations of the Rider White out there that don't have to be the Radiant. You may find some other ones, but I definitely suggest, if you are a beginner, that you start with a deck that is either the Rider White or a variation of it, where you have a story and that each car has a story in it, and not it's just like, you know, the suit, like the 8 cups or the 9 wands or the 10 swords, like, because you may have a hard time with those. Again, if you feel connected to that, go ahead and get that one as well. But like I was saying, if you are able to go to a place where you can see the whole deck, that'll be best. I'm lucky enough to work in the Mystic Dream, and this is a store here in Walnut Creek in California, and we have a great selection of open decks. So every deck that they have in the store, they just have it for you to check it out. You can even use it, like, try to do a reading, see if you connect. That is the best way to pick a deck. If you don't do it that way, just see if you can find, you know, a person that has a deck that you are interested in getting, and ask them if you can see it, so you can see if you connect. If not, again, you can buy it online and get it, and if not, return it, or just keep it for a collection or go sell it again. But definitely it's nice if you can connect with every card and see that. One of the Oracle decks, and this is what an Oracle deck looks like. I picked this one. I'm not selling any of the decks that I'm showing today, but I wanted to give you an idea of, like, how do they look like. And when you see here, you will notice that there is no major arcana, minor arcana. It's just like the amount of cards that the author decided to put in this deck. Okay, so if you feel like you want, again, I would say let's step back a little, and depending on what your purpose and what you want to do with the cards is what you would pick as well. If you want to do readings and expand, and maybe you are looking into more guidance for yourself or doing readings for others, I would definitely go with a tarot deck. It will give you the most variety. You have several spreads out there that can give you, whether you are looking for answers in relationships or work or health or future or general, or like an ear reading. Like, tarot has that type of, like, flexibility in a sense, and it allows you a world of possibilities. If you are looking for a deck that is just to pick a card a day to add it to your meditation or to your daily practice, start looking for, you know, an Oracle deck, because with those you can pick one card and get a message. You don't have to do a full spread with those. You can if you want to. They work the same way, but they are usually more related to, like, let's pick a card a day, or 2 or 3 cards for the day, and that's it. If you are interested in more of, like, the fortune telling, pick the Lenormand. It is a very fun deck to work with. It's a very direct deck too. It's a tool where you ask a question and you get a direct answer from the Lenormand deck. There is not much in between when we talked about Lenormand. So if you have specific questions, pick Lenormand. If you are more of, like, a general person, like you say, well, what's the universe going to show me, or what's the universe going to give me in the next 3 months or 4 months, or what should I be aware of? pick tarot, okay? Because tarot, it's more flexible in that way. You don't have to be very specific with your questions. But like I said, there are plenty of oracles, tarot decks, Lenormand decks out there. You just have to find the one that resonates with you, the one that tells you the story, the one that when you are working with it, it has the right feeling, it has the right energy, and you really vibrate with it. So again, if you are able to go on, check your deck before you buy it, I highly recommend it. So I hope you have enjoyed this Divination Insights. I will be doing these segments once a week, and I would invite you to send me any questions you may have that you want to talk about or you want me to talk about connected to astrology, to tarot, to runes, to pendulum, to oracles as well, and any kind of divination. Also how to develop intuition, how to work with your spirit guides, and all these different questions that you may have. Please send them to me so I can address them in Divination Insights. You can write to me at carolina@caroamor.com, or just check my website, www.caroamor.com, and you can send me a question using the question form over there. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. And I hope to see you soon in the next Divination Insights. Have a great day.